Welcome to Lesson 7, Writing Linear Equations Given 2 Points. So in all of our examples and our problems so far, we really haven't had to deal with 2 points and finding slope. We've always known the slope. Well, here we don't know the slope, but we're going to find it. So we're going to start with the slope-intercept form. If you remember, that's y equals mx plus b. And we also need to remember the formula to find slope. It's m equals y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So we're going to use that to find our slope, and then after we find slope, we will solve the formula. So first things first, we need to label our 2 points. x1, y1, x2, y2, and again, it does not matter which point you pick as to be your x1, y1, x2, y2. So we're going to do m equals 3 minus 1 over 3 minus 1, which equals 2 over 2, which equals 1. So we know our slope is 1. So that means in that equation, y equals mx plus b, we can replace m with 1. And now because it's a 1x, we don't actually have to write 1, but I will now just because. Now we run into a problem in that we don't know what b is. So we need to find b. Well, we do have an x and a y here, and we do have 2 points that tell us what x and y could be. So that's what we're going to do. You're going to pick one of them. I generally pick the one with the smaller numbers, or the one that looks like it's going to work best with your slope. And after you've picked the point that you want, I'm just going to use 1, 1 because those 1 is a nice small number. We're going to substitute that in. So we're going to use 1, 1. So I'm going to plug in 1 for y, plug in 1 for x, plus b. So we get 1 equals 1 plus b, subtract 1, and we see that b equals 0. So our b equals 0. So that means up here where this plus b is, we can get rid of b and put plus 0, but we don't actually have to put plus 0. So our answer is just y equals 1x. Okay, the second example, x1, y1, x2, y2. So we're going to do negative 7 minus negative 19, which changes it to a plus 19, over negative 2 minus 1. Well, we simplify this, and we get 12 divided by negative 3, which equals negative 4. So we know that our slope is negative 4. So we get y equals negative 4x plus b. Now we look at our 2 points, and I really don't want to deal with a negative 19, so I'm going to pick the negative 2, negative 7 for my x and y. So we get negative 7 equals negative 4 times negative 2 plus b. I didn't really give myself a lot of room, did I? So negative 7 equals 8 plus b. Subtract 8, and we get that b equals negative 15. So up here we can replace this b with a minus 15, and there we have our slope-intercept form. So here are two examples for you to try on your own with your group. So go ahead, pause the video, and try them now. And here are the slope-intercept forms that I hope you found whenever you work through. So again, go ahead and pause this video and look over this work with your group. Alright, let's move on to point slope form. If you recall, point slope form is y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1, where m is still our slope and x1, y1 is a point on the line. So again, we have 2 points, so we have the point part taken care of. We just need to know the slope, and we're going to use the same method as we just did. And I labeled wrong. That should be x2, y2. Alright, so we're going to do our m equals -3 minus 12, which turns into a plus 12 over 15 minus 6. So we get 9 over 9, which equals 1. So we now know that our slope is 1. And what we have to do now is the easy part. We already have a point labeled x1, y1. So let's just use that as our point on the line. So it's going to be y plus 12 equals 1 times x minus 6. And there we have our point slope form of the line. So really the only thing we added in was finding the actual slope. So now, here are 2 examples that I'd like for you to do in your group. So go ahead and please pause the video now. And here are the answers to those 2 examples. So go ahead and pause the video and look over these again. Okay, now talk about our last form that we learned, standard form. So again, we're going to have to find the slope. And the interesting thing about standard form is we have to either turn it into slope-intercept form or point slope form before we turn it into standard form. We just can't find the slope and go straight to standard form. So I'll show you both ways. The first way I do is the point slope form. So x1, y1, x2, y2. So -3 plus 12 over 15 minus 6. We get 9 over 9. So we get 1. So we get y minus or plus 12 equals the slope times x minus 6. And now we're just going to do the conversion to standard form. Y plus 12 equals x minus 6. I'm going to subtract x. And we get negative x plus y plus 12 equals negative 6. If we subtract 12, I ran out of room, so I'm just going to erase this. Negative 6 minus 12 is negative 18. So there we go. Or we can put it in slope-intercept form. So our slope was 1. So we know that y equals 1x plus b. We'll use the 6 and negative 12. So negative 12 equals 1 times 6 plus b. Equal to 6 plus b. So we know that b equals negative 18. So we get y equals 1x minus 18, subtract x, and we get negative x plus y equals negative 18. So it does not matter which way that you go through and write the equation at the beginning. You can either do point slope or slope intercept, just so long as in the end you wind up with standard form. So here are two examples for you to try on your own, so pause the video and work through these with your group. And here are the solutions to those two examples. Number 1, I took the point slope route. Number 2, I took the slope intercept route. So go ahead, pause the video, look these over, and after you're done with that, that'll be the end of the video.